Hello students and welcome to the video solutions of ANTS PT5 Botany section. Let us look at question number 101. The first action spectrum of photosynthesis was described with the help of experiments conducted by. तो ये क्वेश्चन है चैप्टर फोटोसिंथेसिस इन हायरिंग प्लांट्स का जो एकदम बिगिनिंग का सेक्शन है where we are discussing about the experiments which were conducted leading to the discovery of points related to the whole mechanism of photosynthesis. तो we know that photosynthesis requires the presence of light, लेकिन लाइट जो पूरे इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक स्पेक्ट्रम में प्रेजेंट है उसका कौन सा सेक्शन या कौन सा पोर्शन हो रहा है विच इज़ एक्चुअली यूटिलाइज्ड बाय द प्लांट ड्यूरिंग द प्रोसेस ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस, उसको हम कहते हैं द एक्शन स्पेक्ट्रम. सो बेस्ड ऑन दैट व्हाट वी नोटिस इज जो फर्स्ट एक्शन स्पेक्ट्रम ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस है दिस वाज प्रपोज्ड बाय ऑप्शन ए एंगलमैन. सो एंगलमैन यूजिंग हिज प्रिज्म एक्सपेरिमेंट उन्होंने ये आइडिया दिया था कि फोटोसिंथेसिस का एक पर्टिकुलर एक्शन स्पेक्ट्रम होगा जिसमें मैक्सिमम फोटोसिंथेसिस ब्लू एंड रेड लाइट में देखा जाएगा. सो गोइंग बाय दैट क्वेश्चन नंबर 101 द आंसर शुड बी ऑप्शन ए एंगलमैन. Moving ahead to the next question, which of the following are accessory pigments? तो जैसा कि हम जानते हैं for the process of photosynthesis the very first step which is absorption of light of the correct wavelength and eventually which starts our light dependent reactions. इसके लिए हमारा major pigment हो रहा है chlorophyll A. बट क्लोरोफिल ए को लाइट हार्वेस्ट करके उस एनर्जी को पास ऑन करने में जिन पिगमेंट्स का हेल्प हमें चाहिए they are called to be these accessory pigments. These are also helping in protecting chlorophyll A from any high intensity light. So तीन जो accessory pigments हम लोग देख रहे हैं chlorophyll B, xanthophylls and carotenoids, तीनों ही behave कर रहे हैं as accessory pigments. So going by that question number 102 का आंसर होना चाहिए option D, all of these. Question number 103 ये एक statement based question है. Statement 1, in PS1 the reaction center has an absorption peak at 680 nanometer. At the very first glance you can see that this is a wrong statement क्योंकि pigment system 1 जो PS1 हो रहा है इसका reaction center का peak कहाँ पे होगा? The chlorophyll A molecule who behaves as the reaction center of PS1 it is actually active at 700 नैनोमीटर ऑफ लाइट. तो वहाँ पे 680 नैनोमीटर दिया है तो इसका मतलब हमारा स्टेटमेंट 1 इनकरेक्ट हो रहा है. मूविंग अहेड, स्टेटमेंट 2, व्हेन ओनली PS1 इज फंक्शनल नॉन साइक्लिक फोटोफॉस्फोराइलेशन अकर्स. सो लाइट डिपेंडेंट रिएक्शंस में साइक्लिक एंड नॉन साइक्लिक देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ फोटोफॉस्फोराइलेशन. तो साइक्लिक फोटोफॉस्फोराइलेशन ये वाला जो प्रोसेस हो रहा है इसके लिए हमें सिर्फ एक ही पिगमेंट सिस्टम चाहिए which is PS1. But when we look at non-cyclic photophosphorylation, इसके लिए हम क्या देखेंगे? We need the dual activities of PS1 and PS2. So going by that, अगर हमने देखा है कि सिर्फ PS1 एक्टिव है लेकिन PS2 एक्टिव नहीं है तो उस केस में non-cyclic photophosphorylation नहीं हो पाएगा. तो यहाँ पे जो स्टेटमेंट दिया गया है that when only PS1 is functional, non-cyclic photophosphorylation occurs. This is a wrong statement. So it seems statements 1 and 2 both are incorrect. So going by that, question number 103, our answer should be option D, that both statement 1 and statement 2 are incorrect. Moving ahead, question number 104. When we look at water splitting complex, the protein complex who is eventually helping in photolysis of water. So where exactly is it located? तो इसके लिए हम क्या देख रहे हैं? When you look at the arrangement of the thylakoid. So let's assume this is the membrane of the thylakoid. Inner region, this is the lumen. Outer region, this is the stroma. So when we look at splitting of water कहाँ हो रहा है? It's lumen which actually contains water. और इसका splitting होगा using a complex which is present on the thylakoid. उसके बाद हमें यहाँ पे क्या मिलेगा? प्रोटॉन्स. तो हमें देखने को ये मिल रहा है कि वाटर का स्प्लिटिंग जिस भी कंपोनेंट की वजह से हो रहा है वो थाइलाकॉइड में प्रेजेंट है. सो इट कैनॉट बी ल्यूमेन, इट कैनॉट बी स्ट्रोमा, सो इट इज प्रेजेंट ऑन द थाइलाकॉइड. अब पॉइंट ये है कि जो भी कॉम्प्लेक्स है वो किस तरफ प्रेजेंट है. इसको हम मान सकते हैं टूवर्ड्स द स्ट्रोमा साइड और इस लाइन को हम मान सकते हैं टूवर्ड्स द ल्यूमेन साइड. तो स्प्लिटिंग तो यहाँ पे हो रहा है. सो गोइंग बाय दैट, द वाटर स्प्लिटिंग कॉम्प्लेक्स, इट इज गोइंग टू बी लोकेटेड ऑन द inner side of the thylakoid membrane. So question number 104, our answer is going to be option B, on inner side of thylakoid membrane. Moving ahead to question number 105. ये question आ रहा है from the chapter respiration in plants. So yeast death occurs at alcohol concentration. We know that yeast can metabolize sugars which goes through the process of alcohol fermentation. At the end what we get is, we get alcohol, ethanol to be more precise. तो ये जो अल्कोहल रिलीज हो रहा है, ईस्ट अपने सराउंडिंग में रिलीज कर रहा है. तो ऐसे मानो कि सराउंडिंग में पहले अल्कोहल रिलीज नहीं हुआ था, मेटाबॉलिज्म में भी स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ. सो लेट्स अज्यूम योर अल्कोहल कॉन्सेंट्रेशन इज एट 0. ग्रेजुअली एज ईस्ट कीप्स ऑन मेकिंग मोर एंड मोर अल्कोहल, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? अल्कोहल का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन धीरे धीरे बढ़ रहा है, 1%, 2%, 3%. By the time the alcohol concentration reaches the amount of 13%, what happens is it becomes toxic for the yeast cells, as a result of which the yeast cells, they start to die. Hence, question number 105, yeast death occurs at alcohol concentration 13%, so our answer is option B. Now, question number 106, this is a very simple numerical based question that we have. तो क्वेश्चन में ये पूछा गया है, द अमाउंट ऑफ ATP एंड NADPH यूज्ड टू मेक 2 मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑफ ग्लूकोज. सो व्हाट यू हैव टू पे अटेंशन टू इज कौन सा मॉलिक्यूल बोला गया है वहाँ पे एंड कितने नंबर वहाँ पे मेंशन किए गए हैं, राइट? तो सबसे पहले हम ये नोट कर लेंगे कि हमें दिया गया है 2 मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑफ ग्लूकोज, हमें इसका फाइंड आउट करना है. सो बिफोर वी फाइंड दिस आउट, लेट्स लुक एट द सिंपल नंबर्स. When we use one carbon dioxide and as it moves through Calvin cycle or C3 cycle, what does it require is, it requires 3 ATP and 2 NADPH. Now, to make one glucose, what we need is, we need 6 molecules of carbon dioxide or we can say 6 rounds of Calvin cycle. तो इसका मतलब इसमें हमें 6 carbon dioxide चाहिए. So for one glucose, we will be requiring 18 ATP and we will be requiring 12 molecules of NADPH. Yes? So now when you look at the calculation for 2 glucose, इसको बस double कर दो. For 2 glucose, we will be requiring 36 molecules of ATP and 24 molecules of NADPH. सिंपल यूनिटरी मेथड लगा के हमारा ये आंसर आ रहा है. सो गोइंग बाय दैट, फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 106, टू मेक 2 मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑफ ग्लूकोज वी नीड 36 ATP एंड 24 NADPH. आवर आंसर शुड बी ऑप्शन C. नाउ क्वेश्चन नंबर 107, द बाइंडिंग ऑफ RUBP with oxygen during photorespiration forms. So what we see is, under ideal condition, RUBP, ribulose bisphosphate, is supposed to bind with carbon dioxide. That is what is starting the entire process of light independent reactions. But जब photorespiration, which is actually a disadvantageous mechanism for your plant, जब photorespiration start होता है, तो what does RUBP do? RUBP is actually having an affinity with oxygen here. ये oxygen से bind हो रहा है. Okay? As a result of which, what we notice is, you have the formation of 2 types of molecules. Under ideal condition, when RUBP binds with carbon dioxide, you have the formation of 2 molecules of phosphoglycerate. But here what we notice is, as it binds with oxygen, we still have 2 molecules. But यहाँ पे एक molecule बनेगा phosphoglycerate का. This is the conventional molecule that should have been formed. But second molecule phosphoglycerate का नहीं हो रहा है. The second molecule, that is going to be of phosphoglycolate. Yes? So it seems that binding of RuBP with O2 results in the formation of one molecule of phosphoglycerate and phosphoglycolate. So going by that, question number 107, the answer should be option B. Now question number 108 again respiration से related है, बहुत ही direct question है. Glycolysis is often referred to as, if you go back to your NCERT and you read that initial part of glycolysis, what you will notice is वहाँ पे 3 साइंटिस्ट का नाम दिया गया है जिन्होंने पहली बार glycolysis को स्टडी किया था. The names of these 3 scientists, they were Emden, Meyerhoff and Parnas. So 3 scientists who first studied glycolysis. तो इस बेसिस पे हम क्या देख रहे हैं? एमडन का E, Meyerhoff का M and Parnas का P. So taking their initials, glycolysis is also known as EMP pathway. So for question number 108, our answer should be option D. Now question number 109, again this is a statement based question. Statement 1. NADP reductase is located on the stroma side of thylakoid membrane. तो ये वाला जो question हो रहा है, this can use that same figure we used a little while ago to understand the position of the water splitting complex. Again same concept आ रहा है, यहाँ पे lumen present है, यहाँ पे stroma present है. This is nothing but the thylakoid membrane, right? So NADP reductase, the enzyme who is eventually resulting in the formation of NADPH. तो NADPH जो NADP molecule है, NADP is present in the stroma. NADPH ये जो molecule है जो actually dark reaction में use हो रहा है, तो वो भी कहाँ present है? स्ट्रोमा में, क्योंकि it's the stroma where your dark reactions are occurring. तो NADPH हमें वहीं पे बनाना है जहाँ पे उसका requirement है. तो ये वाला जो reaction होगा, it is going to do what? It is going to use an enzyme which is actually present on the thylakoid. तो again similar concept आ रहा है, something which is present on the thylakoid. So going by that, क्योंकि ये स्ट्रोमा में मुझे NADPH चाहिए, तो किस direction में है? This is the lumen direction, this is the stroma direction. तो where exactly is the enzyme present? It's present on the stroma side. तो statement 1 जो हो रहा है, NADP reductase is located on the stroma side of thylakoid membrane. This statement is correct. Statement 2, accumulation of protons occurs in the stroma. ये वाला statement false हो रहा है, क्योंकि it's inside the lumen through splitting of water or through pumping of protons from the stroma. What we notice is ये lumen हो रहा है जिसमें हम लोग gradually proton का accumulation करेंगे, not the stroma. So going by that, your statement 2 is incorrect. So statement 1 is correct, 2 is incorrect. So going by that, when you look at option C, only statement 1 is correct. This seems to be the correct answer here. So question number 109, our correct answer is going to be option C. Now moving ahead to question number 110. Oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvate occurs in mitochondrial matrix. That's statement 1. So oxidative decarboxylation जिसमें pyruvate gets converted into acetyl coenzyme A, ये aerobic respiration का एक important step है which actually occurs in the mitochondrial matrix. So statement 1 is correct. Like I mentioned कि इसमें pyruvate का conversion हो रहा है into acetyl coenzyme A. So going by that, statement 2, this reaction results in formation of acetyl coenzyme A. This particular point is also correct. So it seems question number 110, both statements 1 and 2 are correct. So going by that, option D, that should be the correct answer. Moving ahead, question number 111. Moving ahead, question number 111. In mitochondrial ETS, complex 3 refers to complex 3 जैसा कि हम जानते हैं, it is an electron carrier complex which is made up of 2 major constituents who are going to be a complex of cytochromes B and C1. So cytochrome BC1 complex, that is the part of complex 3. So 111, the answer should be option D. Question number 112, RQ which is respiratory quotient. What is exactly respiratory quotient? It is the amount of carbon dioxide evolved by the total amount of oxygen which was consumed during the process of respiration. Now यहाँ पे respiratory substrate हमें दिया गया है proteins. So whenever proteins are utilized, RQ का value around comes out to be 0.9. So 112, the answer should be option A. 113, the process which directly uses oxygen during respiration is. So aerobic respiration, we know it needs oxygen. But aerobic respiration का भी the exact step who utilizes oxygen is actually going to be the electron transport system. जहाँ पे oxygen behaves as the final or the terminal electron acceptor. So for question number 113, the answer should be option C, electron transport system. Now question number 114, this is actually from the chapter plant growth and development, जिसमें हमें choose करना है correct statement. So GA3, gibberellins, is used to speed up malting process. ये statement correct है. To cross check, cytokinins are gaseous plant growth regulators. False. It's going to be ethylene, who is a gaseous PGR. Removal of shoot tips inhibit growth of lateral buds. ये incorrect है because जब shoot tip remove हो जाता है, it allows the lateral buds to grow and lead to branching. This statement is incorrect. Kinetin occurs naturally in plants. Kinetin is a non-plant or not occurring in plant cytokinin that we have. So ये statement भी incorrect हो रहा है. So question number 114, our answer should be option A. GA3 is used to speed up malting process. Now question number 115, which of the following is an example of plasticity? So plasticity का example है variety in leaf shapes, which is also known as heterophyly. Heterophyly can be observed in case of coriander. Specifically coriander में हमें developmental heterophyly दिखता है. आप लोगों ने भी देखा होगा कि यंग केसेस में जो कोरिएंडर है, द लीफ इज़ वेरी वेल फॉर्म्ड, द लैमिना इज़ वेल फॉर्म्ड, बट उसी कोरिएंडर प्लांट में जब ऊपर की तरफ फ्लावर डेवलपमेंट होने लगता है, इट सीम्स द लीफ लैमिना बिकम्स नैरो. सो दैट इज़ एन एग्जांपल ऑफ व्हाट? प्लास्टिसिटी. तो डिफरेंट स्टेजेस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट में हमने क्या देखा? डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ लीफ फॉर्मेशन. इसी तरीके का वेराइटी इन लीफ शेप ये ऑब्जर्व होता है बटरकप के केस में भी. So it seems both coriander and buttercup, the leaf shapes, they do show plasticity. So for question number 115, our correct answer is going to be option C, both A and B. Moving ahead, a question related to discovery of hormones. So auxin, a promoting hormone for the plant development, this was first isolated by the scientist involved in the isolation of auxin his name was Wendt. Even though Darwin did study PGRs, he did not exactly isolate auxin. And Wendt, the plant that he was working upon, they were oat seedlings. So it was first isolated by Wendt from seedlings of oat. So going by that, for 116, our answer should be option B. Now question 117, another statement based question. Which statement is wrong for TCA cycle, tricarboxylic acid cycle, or also known as Krebs cycle? Statement A, there are 3 points where NAD is reduced to NADH2. This particular statement is correct क्योंकि पूरे Krebs cycle में, one round of Krebs cycle में हमें 3 जगह पे NADH2 मिलता है. The cycle occurs in mitochondrial matrix. This statement is also true. There are 2 points where FAD is reduced to FADH2. ये वाला स्टेटमेंट गलत हो रहा है क्योंकि Krebs साइकिल में सिर्फ एक ही पॉइंट है, सक्सिनेट से फ्यूमारेट के कन्वर्जन वाला पॉइंट, जहाँ पे हमें एक FADH2 मिलता है. Again, let's look at option D. During conversion of succinyl coenzyme A to succinic acid, a molecule of GTP is synthesized. A molecule A की synthesize होता है. This is correct. तो हमसे पूछा गया है रॉन्ग. सो स्टेटमेंट सी इज द रॉन्ग स्टेटमेंट, और हमारे क्वेश्चन के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से दैट इज आवर करेक्ट आंसर, दैट 2 पॉइंट्स पे FADH2 नहीं बन रहा है, सिर्फ 1 पॉइंट पे बनता है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 118, द परसेप्शन ऑफ स्टिमुलस फॉर फोटोपीरियोडिज्म इज डन बाय. फोटो पीरियोडिज्म कितने ड्यूरेशन तक लाइट मिल रहा है ये इवेंचुअली डिसाइड करेगा कि प्लांट में फ्लावरिंग प्रमोट कब हो रहा है या हो रहा है अभी नहीं हो रहा है. सो ये जो स्टिमुलस है कि लाइट कितने ड्यूरेशन तक प्लांट को मिला है, दिस इज एक्चुअली परसीव्ड बाय द लीव्स. इवन दो ये स्टिमुलस का इफेक्ट हमें शूट टिप में फ्लावरिंग के टाइम पे देखने को मिलता है, बट स्टिमुलस को परसीव कौन करेगा? इट इज गोइंग टू बी लीव्स. सो 118 आंसर शुड बी ऑप्शन सी. नाउ क्वेश्चन नंबर 119, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग PGR इज अ कैरोटिनॉइड डेरिवेटिव. तो इसका मतलब कौन सा एक कैरोटिनॉइड पिगमेंट हो रहा है विच एक्ट्स एज द प्रिकर्सर फॉर वन ऑफ दीज PGRs. So that is going to be the directly growth inhibiting PGR we have, which is ABA or abscisic acid. So 119 option B, abscisic acid. Question number 120, the PGR used to produce seedless tomatoes is. So commercially important tomatoes में जितना seeds कम होगा उतना better हो रहा है. तो seedlessness, that is the property of parthenocarpy. किसी भी प्लांट में अगर हम नेचुरल पार्थेनोकार्पी देख रहे हैं, दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ हायर कॉन्सेंट्रेशंस ऑफ ऑक्सीजन. तो उसी तरीके से अगर मुझे पार्थेनोकार्पी इंड्यूस कराना है, इफ आई नीड इंड्यूस्ड पार्थेनोकार्पी, देन ऑल्सो आर्टिफिशियली हम लोग वहाँ पे क्या यूज करेंगे? ऑक्सीजन्स. सो गोइंग बाय दैट, टू मेक सीडलेस टोमेटोज वी नीड द हार्मोन ऑक्सीजन. सो क्वेश्चन 120, इट शुड बी ऑप्शन डी. क्वेश्चन नंबर 121, वर्नलाइजेशन, द फिनोमिनन ऑफ वर्नलाइजेशन, व्हाट डज इट रेफर टू. तो ऑप्शंस में हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि या तो किसी चीज का प्रमोशन हो रहा है या फिर इनहिबिशन. स्पेसिफिकली फोटोपीरियोडिज्म एंड वर्नलाइजेशन बोथ आर फिनोमिनन्स रिलेटेड टू फ्लावरिंग. सो प्रमोशन ऑफ फ्लावरिंग या इनहिबिशन ऑफ फ्लावरिंग. सो व्हाट इज वर्नलाइजेशन? वर्नलाइजेशन इज प्रमोशन ऑफ फ्लावरिंग. तो इनहिबिशन वाले ऑप्शंस गए. दैट टू वर्नलाइजेशन में हम लोग फैक्टर क्या देख रहे हैं? टेम्परेचर. To be very precise, it's low temperature. So bring all the points together. Vernalization refers to promotion of flowering by low temperature. So it should be option B. Now question number 122, this is from the syllabus of जो class 12 वाला portion है, the very first chapter, reproduction in organisms. The event of fertilization, it can happen within the organism's body, internal fertilization, or outside of the organism's body, external fertilization. So external fertilization can be observed in members of, definitely not angiosperms and gymnosperms because these are higher plants. तो इनका जो fertilization का process होगा वो भी एक advanced manner में हो रहा है. It is within the parent body. बचा हमारे पास algae and pterido. So even though pterido are not that higher of plants, pterido के केस में भी क्या हो रहा है? They do have the presence of weld covered structures जिसके अंदर fertilization हो रहा है. So again within the parent body. Algae being some of the most primitive plants, इनका जो fertilization होगा that is going to occur in the surrounding water because algae is aquatic in nature. They're releasing their gametes in the surrounding water medium and that is where we have fertilization. Hence it's going to be external fertilization. So question 122, the correct option should be option C, algae. Now question number 123, again a statement based question. Statement 1, in algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes, water is medium of gamete transfer. Algae being entirely aquatic in nature, उसमें definitely water ही medium of transfer होगा. In case of bryophytes and pteridophytes, even though they have terrestrial existence, they are dependent upon water for gamete transfer. So statement 1 is correct. Statement 2, in seed plants, angiosperms and gymnosperms, pollen grains are the carriers of male gametes. Gymno and angio दोनों groups में हम क्या देख रहे हैं? They have the process of pollen grain formation. इस pollen grain के अंदर क्या बन रहा है? Male gamete. So when the pollen grain is transferred, it means वो pollen grain क्या कर रहा है? Gamete को transfer करा रहा है. So it seems statement 2, this is going to be correct. So statement 1 and statement 2 both are correct or both are true. So question 123, our answer should be option C. Question number 124, the observation of clear-cut vegetative, reproductive and senescent phases is made in. ये तीनों जो फेज हैं हमें डिस्टिंक्टिवली कहाँ पता चलेगा? अगर तुम ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हो कि विद इन अ लिमिटेड टाइम पीरियड प्लांट ने अपना इनिशियल वेजिटेटिव फेज दिखाया, उसने अपने वेजिटेटिव पार्ट्स डेवलप किए, एक एग्जैक्ट पिन पॉइंट आया जिसमें उसने फ्लावर डेवलप किया, गैमेट फॉर्मेशन, fertilization, and at the end you are getting fruit seed formation, reproductive phase done. After that, once the fruits have fallen down, what you are noticing is gradually the leaves are turning yellow, the plant is becoming old, so that is senescent phase, and eventually the plant dies. तो अगर ये वाला particular format follow हो रहा है तो I can see clear cut vegetative, reproductive and senescent phases. अगर ऐसा हो गया कि रिप्रोडक्टिव फेज आया, फ्लावर फ्रूट बना, उसके बाद प्लांट ने एक पॉज लिया, वो फिर से नेक्स्ट ईयर वही काम कर रहा है, तो उसका लाइफ स्पैन क्या हो रहा है? इट्स इंक्रीजिंग. तो व्हेन यू लुक एट एनुअल प्लांट्स दे हैव अ लाइफ स्पैन विच इज विद इन 1 year. 1 साल के अंदर सारे प्रोसेसेस खत्म, देन इट इज डाइंग. क्लियर कट मुझे तीनों स्टेजेस दिख गया. बायनियल प्लांट्स दे टेक ऑलमोस्ट 2 years, लाइक विद इन 2 years टू कंप्लीट देयर लाइफ साइकिल. तो उसमें हमने क्या देखा? अगेन थोड़ा टाइम लगा, बट क्लियर कट ये फेजेस हमें देखने को मिला. बट व्हेन यू लुक एट जनरली पेरेनियल प्लांट्स में हम क्या देख रहे हैं? ईयर आफ्टर ईयर दे आर एबल टू डेवलप फ्लावर्स, फ्रूट्स. तो किस पॉइंट पे रिप्रोडक्टिव फेज खत्म हुआ, सेनेसेंस स्टार्ट हुआ, ये जो पॉइंट है ना, ये इतना डिस्टिंक्टिवली हमें पता नहीं चल रहा है. सो गोइंग बाय दैट, क्लियर कट वेजिटेटिव फेजेस, रिप्रोडक्टिव फेजेस एंड सेनेसेंट फेजेस ये ऑब्जर्व हो रहा है in both annual and biennial plants, so it should be option D. Question 125, it's a match the following. Number 1, conidia is observed in case of Penicillium. A. Bulbils, they are observed in case of agave. D. Leaf buds are observed in case of Bryophyllum. B. Magnification is observed in case of amoeba. So going by that, when you match the points here, it seems your correct answer over here should be option C. So question number 125, the correct answer should be option C. Moving on to question number 126, ginger can be vegetatively propagated through. The edible portion of ginger that we have, that is actually a stem modification which is called to be rhizome. Because it's a stem modification, it has the capacity to give rise to buds. तो यही जिंजर का राइजोम आगे जाके क्या कर सकता है? इट कैन वेजिटेटिवली प्रोपगेट द पेरेंट प्लांट. सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 126, आवर आंसर शुड बी ऑप्शन ए. क्वेश्चन 127, parthenogenesis is the development of an organism from, this is a special case of development where you do have the presence of a gamete, but this gamete doesn't undergo fertilization. So our answer should be from an unfertilized gamete. So 127, option A. Question 128, if the gametes are similar in their appearance, they are called aniso. इसका मतलब हो रहा है dissimilar. So definitely that's not our answer. Iso and homo, दोनों words का ही meaning क्या हो रहा है? Something to do with similar conditions. So इसका मतलब isogamete and homogamete both are representing the sentence over there. So question number 128, our answer should be option D, both B and C. Question 129, a typical angiosperm anther is described to be bilobed and dithecous. This is a direct question. 129, answer should be option B. Question number 130, the pollen grain wall should consist of 2 layers, outer, inner. Outer layer is called to be the exine, inner layer is called to be the intine. So outer exine, inner intine, 130, option C. Moving ahead to question number 131, both chasmogamous and cleistogamous flowers are observed in plants of, in NCERT there is a direct example here that chasmogamous flowers which are always closed, cleistogamous flowers which tend to open, ये जो dual condition of flowers same plant में आ रहा है. तो NCERT में examples हमारे पास क्या है? Viola, Oxalis, Commelina, all 3 of them. So going by that, question 131, our answer should be option D. Question 132, pollination by water can be observed in. Now options 1 and option 2, मतलब option A और option B जो हो रहा है, water hyacinth and water lily, even though both of them these are aquatic plants, what we notice is water hyacinth and water lily के जो flowers हैं वो water surface से ऊपर है. so you cannot have water pollination there. So उन दोनों plants के लिए हम क्या देखेंगे? The pollination can occur with the help of wind or with the help of insects. But hydrilla, another aquatic plant where the flowers are submerged underwater. तो क्योंकि वो पानी के अंदर हो रहा है, so definitely it should perform water pollination. So question number 132, answer should be option C, hydrilla. Question 133, statement 1, wind pollinated flowers are very colorful. Flower का जो color हो रहा है, that is to attract pollinators. But wind being an abiotic factor, we don't have the requirement of any attractant as such. So statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2, water pollinated flowers produce nectar. Again, nectar is another attractant for pollinator. तो अगर water ही medium हो रहा है, we don't have the requirement of nectar. Statement 2 is also incorrect. So both statements 1 and statement 2, they are incorrect or false. So question 133, the correct answer is option D. Question 134, in seeds of grasses, the scutellum represents. Grass being a monocotyledonous plant, it has the presence of a single cotyledon. The name of that single cotyledon is actually scutellum. So what does the scutellum represents? It represents the single cotyledon. Question 134, answer is option B. Now question number 135, select the correct statement. Occurrence of more than one seed in a fruit is called polyembryony. This is a false statement because polyembryony is the condition when more than one embryo occurs within the same seed. Apomixis represents production of seeds without fertilization. This is a true statement. False fruits develop from only ovary. Again, that is also a false statement. Dormancy is a state of activity of embryo. No, it's a state of inactivity. तो क्योंकि हमें correct statement पूछा है, option B, apomixis represents production of seeds without fertilization. This is the correct answer. So this is where section A is ending. Moving on to section B. Question 136. Light saturation occurs at dash of full sunlight. Total जो sunlight exposure हो रहा है, उसके कितने percentage पे light saturate हो जाता है for the plant's utilization? So that occurs at total of 10% of the sunlight. So question 136, our answer is option A. 137, phosphoenol pyruvate occurs in the, phosphoenol pyruvate is the primary carbon dioxide acceptor in case of C4 cycle. So C4 cycle में phosphoenol pyruvate, that is going to be present in the mesophyll cells because it's your mesophyll cell, that is where the primary carboxylation occurs. Secondary carboxylation occur होगा in the bundle sheath cell. तो हमसे phosphoenol pyruvate का presence पूछा है, that should be option B, which is mesophyll cells. Question number 138, select the correct statement. PS2 has absorption maxima at 700 nanometer. This is false. 700 nanometer is absorption maxima for PS1. PS2 का है 680 nanometer. Light dependent reactions occur in the stroma. False. Light dependent reactions occur in the grana. Light independent reactions occur in the stroma. The law of limiting factors was proposed by Blackman. This statement is true. Chemiosmosis does not require a proton pump. Chemiosmosis does require a proton pump because it's the pumping of protons who's eventually helping in the formation of the ATP molecule. So हमसे correct statement पूछा गया है. Question number 138, option C. During glycolysis, ATP is utilized at, that is question number 139. So ऐसे दो steps हो रहे हैं जिसमें glycolysis के time पे ATP का utilization होगा. पहली बार जब ग्लूकोज से ग्लूकोज 6 फॉस्फेट बन रहा है, सेकेंड टाइम जब फ्रुक्टोज से फ्रुक्टोज 6 फॉस्फेट से फ्रुक्टोज 1,6 बिस फॉस्फेट बन रहा है. सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 139, द करेक्ट आंसर इज ऑप्शन डी, 2 steps. क्वेश्चन 140, द मिनरल रिक्वायर्ड बाय पायरुवेट डिहाइड्रोजनेज, उसके एक्टिवेशन के लिए जो हमें मिनरल चाहिए दैट इज गोइंग टू बी मैग्नीशियम. सो क्वेश्चन 140, आंसर बी. The carriers of mitochondrial ETS are present in mitochondrial electron transport system की जितनी भी electron carriers हो रहे हैं, all of them are going to be present on the inner mitochondrial membrane. So question number 141, It's the inner membrane, option B. Question 142. A net gain of 38 ATP molecules is observed in. So, aerobic and anaerobic respiration, the total gain or the net gain of ATP is variable. Anaerobic respiration में per glucose we are getting only a net gain of 2 ATP. Whereas in aerobic respiration, the net gain, the maximum amount tends to be 38 ATP. Because alcohol fermentation and lactic acid fermentation both are examples of anaerobic respiration. So that is not true. So option B, that is the correct point over there. So 142, the answer is option B, aerobic respiration, जिसमें net gain 38 ATP का हो रहा है. Question 143. A residual persistent nucellus is called. This is a specialized structures which can be observed in seeds like black pepper. So perisperm is a residual persistent nucellus. 143, option C. Question 144. An example of synthetic auxin is, all three of them are auxins, but NAA and 2,4-D, these are examples of synthetic auxins. While IAA, that is an example of a natural auxin. तो क्योंकि A और B दोनों ही synthetic auxin हो रहा है, hence option D more than one correct option. तो 144 का आंसर होगा option D. Question 145. Select the incorrect statement. Gibberellins induce seed dormancy. पहला statement ही गलत हो रहा है क्योंकि gibberellins are the group of hormones who are actually breaking seed dormancy and inducing seed germination. So going by that, question 145, option A, that should be our answer. Question 146. The terms homothallic and monoecious are used to denote. Homothallic and monoecious, both terms eventually mean the condition which is nothing but bisexual. So question number 146, our answer should be option D, bisexual condition. Question number 147, we have to select the correct sequence from the following. So these are nothing but the phases an organism goes through during its overall lifetime. So what are the three phases that we have? Vegetative or juvenile phase, reproductive phase, senescent phase. This is the order. Hence, juvenile phase, reproductive phase, senescent phase. So question number 147, answer should be option C. Question number 148. Which of the following pair represents haploid structures? Nucellus and antipodals. Antipodal cells are haploid but nucellus is diploid. Antipodals and egg cell दोनों ही इसमें haploid हो रहा है. मेगास्पोर मदर सेल डिप्लॉयड हो रहा है. न्यूसेलस डिप्लॉयड है. प्राइमरी एंडोस्पर्म न्यूक्लियस ट्रिप्लॉयड है. तो हमसे पेयर ऑफ हैप्लॉयड सेल्स पूछा गया है. सो एंटीपोडल सेल्स एंड एग सेल्स बोथ आर हैप्लॉयड. क्वेश्चन नंबर 148, आवर आंसर इज ऑप्शन बी. क्वेश्चन नंबर 149, यहाँ पे हमें एक फॉर्मूला दिया गया है जिसमें हमें लेटर ई इसका मीनिंग बताना है. सो इन दिस पर्टिकुलर फॉर्मूला, what does E stand for? E is basically representing the base of natural logarithm. So question 149, our answer is option D. Now coming to the last question of the paper, 150. Again a very easy numerical. An angiosperm leaf has 24 chromosomes. So leaf अगर हमसे बोला है इसका मतलब हमें diploid number given है. So 2n is 24. The chromosome number in its pollensis, pollen is a product of meiosis, तो इसका मतलब हमसे पूछा गया है haploid, so we just have to half it, 12. So question 150, our answer is going to be option B, 12. So I hope all of you understood the explanations behind the answers and study well for your upcoming exams. Thank you.